Have you ever wanted to be a volunteer? Are you searching for an organization that you would feel a connection with in your community? You're watching Scene TV, and I'm your host, Maya McNulty. Today's show, we have a few opportunities for you, our viewers, to get involved in, to donate your time or volunteer in our community. Our first guest will be Ken DeCerce, the Quest of Grace Foundation. Welcome, Ken.
Thank you, Maya. It's a pleasure to be here talking to you and getting the word out about the Quest for Grace Foundation. This is, to me, is a very important organization to provide kinds of things that make foster children feel comfortable, carry their self-esteem, make them feel good about life. Many of them have had difficulty, and we like to think that when they leave our store, they'll have a sparkle in their eyes.
Tell us a little bit about the Quest for Grace Foundation. When was it founded and established, and why?
It was founded in 2005, and Dr. Iannello, Louis, and his wife Michelle already had 2 children, and they decided they were going to foster children. They fostered 4 different children. The last one was Julia Grace, and that's where the Quest for Grace Foundation title comes from. Julia Grace lived with them for more than 4 years. She was 3 months old when they got her. She had had 15 broken bones, and she was in the hospital at 3 months of age, and she was given back to the parents. Unfortunately, our system does that quite often. We like to have our children with their parents. However, in some situations, it becomes a very difficult situation to move children around. The next part was that she was back in the hospital a short time later from suffocation. That's when Louis and Michelle got her. Well, as time went along, Michelle, having 4 different foster children, realized that it was an expensive item to take care of. People would say to her, "Oh, you get paid for this." "Well, I get $12 a day." But she started saving and collecting clothing and toys and things for infants and for children. And started in her basement. And then as time went along, they decided, and they actually, when she was 4 or 4.5 years old, they lost Julia Grace to the court system. They were going to adopt her. In Saratoga County, the edict was passed by the judge, "You may adopt Julia Grace." It was taken to the appellate court and it was reversed. So they lost this child. However, the Quest for Grace was founded in 2005 to take care of situations like they experienced to make things better for children in foster care.
The children that are coming from the foster care, you guys provide a store and it has products. Tell us, how often can the children come in to visit to get products for their daily needs?
There are really no restrictions on how often they come in. However, normally it's 2 times a year. They will get 7 days worth of clothing. And I say normally. There are times when children in foster care are moved from one family to another, or one foster family to another. And when that happens, quite often they don't carry clothing with them. Usually the children are taken from one place and moved to another place, and they'll come in a wrap, a diaper, pajamas, or something of that sort. Well, Michelle will not turn them away. She'll make sure they have their clothing for school or the essentials that they need.
Yeah. What kind of items do you guys provide at the store?
Every type of clothing that's needed by children. This happens to be a girl's outfit, and it would be a full outfit. It'll be something that a grandparent or an aunt or an uncle or a parent will start selecting if you went into a store. Our store looks just like a clothing store. They don't pay for anything because all of the items are collected. My wife, we have a little budget. My wife goes to garage sales. She'll pick things out and then she'll scrutinize them to make sure they're really almost new. They look new because these children sometimes come in and they haven't had anything really nice. When they come in, they may have their belt buckles up to their chin, their eyes are down. When they leave the store, we want to have them feeling proud, build their self-esteem, and have a sparkle in their eyes. So there are clothing pieces. We have this as a sample of a toy that might be good for a young child. There are, we collect books and things of that sort. Now, I said we have a small budget. Well, when we go to a garage sale or a yard sale or whatever it might be, we let the people know that we can provide them with a tax voucher if in fact they would like to donate the things that they don't sell. And we are getting quite a number of calls, and Ken goes with his buggy and picks things up, and Rachel scrutinizes and filters things out and brings them over to the store.
Tell us about some of the goods that can be donated to the store. So you said that some can be new, some can be used, some can be gently worn, but it sounds like a lot of work for you and your wife to go out, and then there's hundreds of kids out there that need help. So tell us about the goods that can be donated.
Pretty much anything children need. The only thing that comes in that we provide new is socks, underwear. Most of the shoes are new. Billy Facillo gave us about 400 pairs of shoes, sneakers. They were Adidas sneakers. He bought on an Adidas store and provided that for us a couple of years ago. He has been a great boon to us. Gave us a car, as a matter of fact, that was raffled off. There are other individuals that provide things. Money is one thing that's important because it's expensive to maintain a store, heat, electricity, in office expenses and those kinds of things. However, the clothing is what's important to come in and to go out.
Yeah. We're talking about volunteerism and people being able to volunteer their time at the store. How do you suggest someone get involved with your store, and are you looking for volunteers?
Yes. I believe Michelle has about 12 of us now that volunteer and help her do various and sundry different kinds of things. But anyone can do that. And I'm sorry I didn't keep a brochure with me to give you the
it's okay.
there's a phone number, and I'll make sure that we have that when we can take a break or whatever.
Okay, yeah, we'll definitely put it up on the site.
Okay, it's very easy. You would talk with Michelle, who is the Chief Executive Officer of the organization. We do all of the things that any voluntary organization would do like that. A not-for-profit. We have a board of directors, and I write proposals for grants. We will be looking for someone to help me do that as I age out. I'm getting to be an old dude. So.
Your organization does a couple of fundraising events, which are bigger for the year, to help fund the clothing and the essentials that the organization needs for the foster children. What kind of events do you guys do? Do you do a golf event? Do you do a gala?
We do one of each of those. This past year, and we believe it'll happen again, the golf event will happen in June. This past year it was at the Mohawk Country Club. The year before it was at a private golf course, and I'm trying to remember which one it was. But usually we do a public golf course and a private golf course, and we alternate those. Okay. That's in June, and our plan is to have one in June. The other item is the gala, and we've been using the Mohawk River Golf Course for the gala every year. And that happened this past year in October, and it's planned again for next year. And what happens at these, the food is tremendous, but also individuals donate items that go into some sort of a Chinese raffle, or they're raffled off. You buy a number of tickets, and you put your name into the one that you want to select, and they're selected out so that you may walk with something that is worth $200 or something, an overnight or a weekend stay that might be worth
Yeah, so it sounds like coming to these events could actually be something fun, and it also will be for a great charity and for a great cause, because we all love children and it's an important thing to do. Ken, I have learned so much today about the Quest for Grace Foundation, and I'm hoping that the audience, the viewers, get a chance to come out to your store and donate their time, either by volunteering or donating products to help children in the foster care industry. I want to thank you so much for coming out and telling us about and sharing the Quest for Grace Foundation with us.
Well, thank you very much. If I might, I'd like to credit some of the organizations that have helped us. I mentioned the golf fundraiser, the gala, different civic organizations, Allstate Insurance, Stewart's Shops, the Twin Bridges Rotary, Post 1450 of the American Legion. Then the Standish Family Fund has provided 2 grants for us. The Riley Salary Fund, unfortunately, the Assemblyman is not with us any longer. He hasn't run again, but we got money from his salary fund. And the Knights of Malta, an organization called NAILBA, which is National Association of Independent Life Brokerage Agencies, and there have been anonymous donors. So it's very important to us to keep this going, and I write proposals for lots of different organizations.
I can see your passion about this Quest for Grace Foundation, and actually has my heart. So thank you again so much. And if you want to be a community leader, or you have a corporation or a business that would like to get involved with the Quest for Grace Foundation, please contact them. They're located here on Erie Boulevard.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And now I'd like to welcome our guest, Elaine Santore from Umbrella of the Capital District. Welcome, Elaine.
Thank you, Maya. Thank you very much for having me.
So exciting to see you again. It's been many years. We've been friends for, I think, at least 15 years back in the Business and Professional Women days.
Yes.
So it's really great to see you, and you're still doing your work for Umbrella. You guys have a new location. Tell us about it.
We are at 9 North Broadway, and we love the location. When we were looking for a new place. We wanted someplace a little smaller, but we needed it to be handicap accessible, and we wanted a larger parking space because we have a lot of people that come in and out of our office, and we got it all. We got everything we wanted, and we worked with our landlord, who is with Urban Initiative here in Schenectady, and he's a great guy, and he just accommodated us in every way. So. We're very, very happy to be there. So anybody can stop by our office. We had a ribbon cutting not too long ago, and there were so many people that showed up. I was flabbergasted. I was so happy that all these people showed up. So feel free to stop by. Pop your head and say hello.
Well, it's a beautiful location, and you can't help but notice the umbrella at the red door. So that's beautiful. That's very exciting. So your new location is going to serve the households better and the volunteers in the Capital District. When did Umbrella first start, and why?
Well, Umbrella started in 1995, and what my associate and I knew early on was that there were people who needed assistance in staying in their home, elderly people who needed assistance staying in their home. And we went through personal circumstances where it was very difficult to get assistance that was somebody you could rely on, somebody who was affordable, and somebody who knew what they were doing. And what we did was figured out that the best way to accomplish this was to have retirees do the work. They were looking for people who were retired, but not necessarily not wanting to hit the golf course, or just didn't know what to do with their retiring years. And this gave them an opportunity to do something meaningful, use a skill, help a peer.
And giving back. They're giving back at their own level that they're comfortable in. And they were professionals in their trade, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah, that's great. How many households has Umbrella helped?
Since '95, over 3,000.
3,000 is a huge number.
Yeah.
What makes Umbrella unique?
The workforce, the handy people that we work with.
The volunteers
volunteers
donate their time?
So they donate their time, but we have people who also, what Umbrella does that's pretty unique is that the people who do the work get paid to do it, but they get paid a small amount.
Mm-hmm.
And they, sometimes they need like a little extra at the end of the day, and sometimes they just want some pocket money, take their wife out to dinner, or, do something a little extra. And here's a way for them to do that little, get that little extra. They get to make their own hours. They get to choose where they want to go and do what they want to do. We're not telling them what.
So if someone's a furnace person, they're in this furnace industry, they could be doing that. They don't have to do plumbing.
Correct.
Okay. Well, that's good. What counties does Umbrella serve?
We serve Albany, Schenectady, Saratoga, and Rensselaer counties.
Is it more need in one county versus another, or?
Not really. The need is everywhere, actually. In a situation like ours, we are always looking for handy people, because you can't serve as many people in a particular location unless you have the handy people to do it. Okay, so
these volunteers are professionals that serve in their field of specialties, and
some of them have just done stuff on their own. Like, they know how to maintain a home, they know how to do carpentry, painting, or plumbing. They know we have women who do housekeeping. We do grocery shopping, transportation. We do a lot of information and referral. It's just, we've learned a lot from the members over the years on what they need. So we add to the already list that we have, and we adjust it to meet the homeowners.
Is your service available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week?
If you have an emergency, it is, yes.
Wow.
And we have had emergencies, and they call. There's a separate phone number that the homeowner can call, and we get them the assistance that they need.
So you've been around since 1995.
Yep.
And throughout the different communities that you work, Saratoga, Rensselaer, Schenectady, Albany, you are very involved with a lot of businesses, and a lot of businesses can give back to your organization.
Yeah.
So this is one of the ways that they can. They have set up some awards too that Umbrella has received for your excellence in the community. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we've received an award from the Schenectady Chamber of Commerce. We were very happy as a new not-for-profit when we first started out in our first actual location. I would say the best award we ever won, the one I'm most proud of, is the Encore Opportunity Award. And we were selected out of over 100 entries in the United States, and we were selected as the best model program for people to use their skills in their retirement.
Great. You know, I was reading on your website, and I noticed that you have a program, and the program is Return the Favor. Can you tell us a little bit about Return the Favor? It has to do with vets, with veterans?
Well, yeah. It's like we give a discount to veterans who need umbrella services. And we also have opportunities for veterans who are looking to earn a little income. And it's just, veterans have done so much for us, and I mean, we owe it to them to give back to what they do, what they have done for us. So I mean, it's like, come on in and let's talk about what you need and how we can work together. So, and that's basically what it is.
Yeah, so that's great, because you really feel a sense of community and a sense of proudness, and being a volunteer, you're able to give back, but yet empower these veterans that have served our country and have been a really good role model for many people. There's another gala coming up for you guys in May. Can you tell us a little about that?
Yes, Art of the Umbrella.
Okay.
We, several years ago, we started Art of the Umbrella. And when the economy went bad, we decided we weren't going to have any fundraisers. That was my decision, maybe not the best decision. But Art of the Umbrella is an exhibit and a live art auction. The art is done by people basically in the community who are artists who want to donate a piece of artwork and auction it off. Now this time we're bringing it back, and we are having, and we used to have umbrellas, and people would decorate umbrellas, and we had all
so neat, yeah.
shapes, sizes, and everything. But this time out we're going to use a broad spectrum of artwork. It could be sculpture, painting, jewelry, fabric, photography. We already have some pieces that have come in. So, but we continue to look for artists who want to contribute, and help. The money goes to helping a senior stay in their home.
That's fantastic. I think that, you know, the art of the umbrella is going to be a fantastic event. I'm looking forward to that event.
Thank you.
Umbrella is always looking for community volunteers and businesses to partner with them. They're located here in downtown Schenectady. Look at our website for more details and information on the umbrella. Elaine, I'd like to thank you so much for being part of our show, and it's a pleasure.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'd like to welcome Robert Clancy. He's a professional speaker, an inspirational speaker, an author, and an entrepreneur. Welcome, Robert.
Thank you.
It's great to have you on our show.
It's wonderful to be here.
You know, I'm delighted about your book, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Soul. Tell us a little bit about the book and how it became.
Well, after many years of volunteering, I actually have encountered so many people and so many inspirational moments that somebody once, I was on a plane trip back from Houston after a volunteer conference, and they said, you know, you need to put those stories in a book. And I've told some of these stories to large groups or just single people, but I've always seen the same reaction, and they get, most of the people get very emotional, including me. It's very hard for me to tell some of these stories, but they touch your heart and they touch your soul, and it's about the compassion for humanity, and I think they realize those things. So the book is actually a collection of these, as well as spiritual tips, leadership tips, and all different things that I've compiled over about a lifetime. I started as early as 6 years old as my first memory of compassion for humanity.
Great. I really enjoy that story of your trip to Jamaica and the pool boy Alex. I would like to find out a little bit more about the acronym that you use in the book, LOVE.
Yes, love, I actually thought about what is the most powerful word in our language, in any language, and it came down to one. It was love. And I couldn't think of any word more powerful than that within anything that we can do. And I set out with an acronym to that, and it became kind of a mantra for my life. And it's leadership, opportunity, volunteerism, and enthusiasm. And that's what makes up love for me. And I think you need all aspects of those, because you need to be a leader in order to show people the path, but sometimes you need to lead by following. And opportunities are there as long as you see them. And volunteerism is the compassion for humanity, and if you do that with a smile, everything is great.
In the book, you referred to soul hitches. Can you elaborate on that?
Sure. I've coined a phrase called soul hitches, which is actually these encounters. And I know people use the word deja vu, and they've had that, I've been here before. I actually have these experiences where I'm more in the moment. And that's what a soul hitch is, when you're more in the moment where you're connecting with someone. And it can be these short, little interactions, or it can be something more elaborate. In the foreword to my book is written by actor Hugh O'Brien, and he had a soul hitch back in 1958 that changed his life. He was on a path to be on par with John Wayne and Charlton Heston, and he still had a very elaborate acting career, but he used that to really fund this organization. Schweitzer took his hands after he had volunteered with people in Lambertine, Africa, and said, now that you've had this experience, what are you going to do with this? He took his hand and said, what are you going to do with this? And on his flight back to Hollywood, he thought, I need to make a difference in the world. And he started this organization. That's a soul hitch that takes your life from one path to a right angle. Sometimes you have these little soul hitches where I'm going to do this today, and I'm going to be going to the store, and I'm going to go shopping, and then life happens.
Right.
But you have to look for those silver linings that are in those moments that take you off your path, because they're actually guiding you more onto your path.
Yeah. What do you think that someone watching today, what can they do to positively help a stranger? Because it sounds like Mr. O'Brien definitely did that for you.
Yes. The simplest thing you do, people talk about volunteerism and it takes too much time, it costs too much money, I can't do it today. Sometimes it's just simply being more of yourself that can really do the service. I look at the simple thing is a smile. And anyone walking out of their house every day is carrying this incredible tool with them, but how often do they use it? It can actually get you that job interview. It can get you the job after the interview. It can change someone's life. You can walk into the mall, somebody could be having a bad day, and just because you smiled at them, they won't think you're crazy, I know that, but I've done it, and you know what, 9 times out of 10, they'll smile back at you, and just the simple community service can start with a smile.
Yeah, great. I smile all the time.
I can tell.
Do you know anyone that has been inspired by your book?
Yes, quite a few people have contacted me, and one in particular is a high school student from Schoharie County, and I met her while volunteering to help the flood victims out that way. We were painting in the Railroad Museum, and we got to talking, and she heard some of the inspirational quotes I had, and I said, well, I'm actually working on a book. I've got this manuscript in my car, and she said, well, I have to write a book report for my school over the summer. So I finally compiled a PDF of the book and sent her the book electronically as in a form that was almost complete. And she connected with the story of Stephanie. It's a girl who went through Hugh O'Brien Youth Leadership many years ago, and she was inspired to, and it changed her life in the enthusiasm that was there. So that's part of that love. The E in love is enthusiasm. And when she went home, it changed her life. She became very outgoing, became her class president, and went on to get a full scholarship to Harvard. And she came back and said, it was because of this weekend that you volunteered. So
oh, wow.
Michaela is the young woman's name. She read this book and read that story and volunteering with her. I saw her a few months later, came up to me smiling like this, and she said, guess what? I was just accepted to college on a full scholarship. And
what
she
an
said,
amazing story.
I was inspired by the stories in your book to do more volunteer work, and that's really what led to her getting this scholarship. So that's somebody that had a life-change moment from it.
Tell me, one of you have a lot of readers that have had some life-changing opportunities and that have come their way. What were some of the opportunities in your life that earlier on that led you to develop your book and write your book and start documenting stories?
Well, one of them was with Junior Achievement, and it was the first experience I had, and actually part of the proceeds of the book go to Junior Achievement for our community. It's a program that in the 80s when I went through taught you entrepreneurship. Now it's an elaborate program that has gone on to teach students from kindergarten through high school fiscal literacy, which is an important key component to what we have for any business. And because of that experience, I'm able to have a successful business that I'm able to put back into the community tenfold over what I'm able to take out of the community. And I think that's important that we all put back into our community. So Junior Achievement's programs are free for any school. They're funded from organizations and individuals through their bowl-a-thons that they host each year. They have one huge bowl-a-thon, and then other companies do it in February. Such as General Electric and other major companies from our area. But there's also a golf tournament in June, and those are really the key things besides individuals and businesses contributing. And think of any school. Is there any school in our area that would not want free books for their high school programs to be able to teach economics? Now they can get these books free because they're funded through this program, and all they have to do is ask to get it in there. One of the, I guess, stumbling blocks is that the change in education right now, a lot of teachers are battling the, I don't have time because I have to teach for the test and get evaluated, and it takes time away. But hopefully the schools will keep it going in. And the second part is really you. the volunteer, the person who's watching this right now, how can you get involved and teach one of these classes? They give you a kit. It's simple because all the instructions are there, all the materials are there, and you just follow the format, and it's simple as that. But the end result are the kids. I've taught the kindergarten through 5th or 6th grade programs, and seeing these little faces. And I have kids that I remember from kindergarten that are now in 7th grade. They still come up to me and they say, "Mr. Clancy, I still remember when you taught me about needs and wants. I wanted the Xbox, but we really needed food and clothing and shelter." And they understand the difference between those. And they've carried those lessons through. And they also do budgeting and other things. So it's an important skill that comes from that program.
I think that's a great program, and thank you so much for sharing that. And you said that some of your proceeds from your book,
Yes.
Hitchhiker to the Soul, goes to benefit the junior achievements. Is it Northeast? Is it New York?
Yes,
is
Junior Achievement of Northeast, and their website is janeny.org, and that's where you can go to volunteer. You can sign up. There's a form right on that website. And also you can contact the office. There's a number on there, and they will connect you with whatever school district that you're in and can get this program started or get you hooked up with one of the teachers that are looking for volunteers.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you being on the show today and telling us about your book, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Soul, and sharing junior achievement with us.
Sure.
So, thanks.
Well, thank you very much.